How old are y'all?
12.
11.
11, 12? Y'all saw The Color Purple?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, what's your thoughts?
I like the movie. It's like, yeah.
You liked it? Did you like
Yeah, I
it?
like it.
Have y'all seen the older one?
I seen half of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't see that.
You ain't seen that one? All right. Is it, you think you can describe what you liked about it?
I liked like the parts where they were like singing and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, it sounded good.
Yeah. When they was like a whole bunch of sisters.
You like that part?
Yeah, and they were singing in their like it was like, and then she left the house to then she had a boyfriend.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I watched the old one.
Okay. You say which
Yeah.
one you seen?
The old one and the new one.
Oh, you seen both of them? Okay, all right. I got a question. How were the black men in the movie?
They like
What did the black man do? The one.
they
How
like
do you think they treated the women in the movie?
poorly.
They didn't treat them good at all.
Do you think that makes black men look good?
No, not at all.
No.
Okay, that the time period in the movie was during segregation. You know what that is, right? Did you see any bad white people in the movie?
No.
No.
Do you find that strange?
Yes.
They're trying to make the black people look bad.
Specifically who? Which black person looked bad?
Men.
Thank you. Who?
Man.
So do you think that's good for black men? Because who was the antagonist then in the movie?
The men.
The black man. Bro, stop pushing.
All right. So how do you feel then that tons of black women are going to a movie where black men are the bad guy? How you think that's going to help their development of how black men really are? How you think their outlook on black men is going to be going forward if they're celebrating a movie where the black man is the enemy?
So like basically they gonna all think that all black men beat on their women.
What he said.
Did he just beat on her?
No, he like had physical.
Stuff with other women?
Yes.
And did he say like negative things about her in front of her and try to chase another woman right in front of her?
Yes.
So do you think that black women are gonna think that's what black men really do?
Yeah.
You think that's good?
No, not at all.
All right. How old are you?
22.
22. You seen The Color Purple?
Yes.
All right. Did you like it?
Yes, I did like it.
What did you like about it?
Mainly I like the music.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a musical at first.
Okay.
And then when I got there, and I like the music mainly.
Okay. Have you seen the original?
Yes, I have.
Do you like both, or is one you like more than the other?
I like the original better.
Okay. All right. So, other than is that me or you? It must have been me. Other than the music, what did you like about it? Like, what about the plot or the characters? Did you like anything about that?
I like the story. I liked this. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. This is hard.
I
It's
know.
not hard, but it's just like I wasn't expecting to.
I know you
Okay,
wasn't.
I liked. I don't know. Remember her name, Fantasia.
Yeah.
Her. I like how the story, like, it was just basically just her. Like,
Okay.
she was the main character, and it was her life. Even she had supporting characters, but it all just revolved back around her.
And she did a good job.
She did a real good job.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. Do you know, and I'll tell you if you don't, but I just want to know, do you know the time period that The Color Purple covers?
No.
It covers from 1910 to 1940. And the reason I'm bringing that up is, did you notice who the bad guy or the antagonist of the movie was?
You talking about her husband?
Exactly. And so basically all the black men were the bad guys.
Yeah.
So during the 1910s and the 1940s, we got white supremacist groups like the KKK. We got white people lynching people, but we see none of that in this movie. And in fact, black men become the bad guy. What do you think of that?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
So I'll just be honest. I'm trying to point to the fact that, let me ask this. Do you think women would support The Color Purple if roles were reversed and the storyline was a male a black dude, and he was mistreated by all the black women in the movie. Do you think women would love that movie?
Yes, they would, but on a different perspective. Like they wouldn't. They like. I feel like now the way people are watching the movie is like, as a woman, that they see the woman get mistreated, but if they see the women being like the ones in power, basically, they would enjoy that too.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying so if the movie was different, women would enjoy being in power and
Yeah.
mistreating
Other
black
than being
men.
mistreated. Yeah.
Okay, so then you don't like the fact that the white people are pretty much the good guys. Like all the white men in this movie are good during the time of 1910 to 1940. There's no bad white men because
Well,
even the ones that lock
the
him up, the
mayor,
mayor.
he
But
was
what
bad.
happened to the mayor? What happened to his wife?
His wife,
Got punched.
she got punched and she sent I don't remember her name, to jail. And then when she got out of jail, she sent her to work for her afterwards.
Right.
So she was bad too, as a white lady.
I would agree on a certain extent, but even let me ask you this: let's say those characters, let's say the mayor and his wife were black.
Mm-hmm.
You think the mayor's wife getting punched, everybody would have been like, "Oh, it's okay."
No.
Exactly.
No.
So that's why I say I don't really see them as bad because she didn't have to punch the mayor's wife.
No.
So I don't, and it's just like you said, white people had the power. But that's my point. I don't think that. Do you think that it's good for the black community to see black men as the enemy of the community?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. And I don't think I interviewed kids too, and we don't consciously view the movie that way, but I think that's why we should like talk about movies and books
Yeah.
that we read. What do you think of that?
I think that stuff like that got more impact than we think.
Yeah.
Like like nobody really, nobody really looked at it like that. Like,
Yeah.
but
But now thinking about it,
subconsciously, it really got more impact than you really think.
yeah, because I know you've heard of Kevin Samuels, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm bringing it up because a lot of times black men are seen as the enemy, especially if we are poor working class black men. So that's why I don't think subconsciously Color Purple would help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does
Right.
that make
Yeah,
sense?
that makes sense. Yeah.
Because this podcast, I know you don't know this, y'all. I asked her to do this on a random. I just saw her. I was like, "Hey, you seen The Color Purple?"
Yeah.
So my channel's called the Black Family Institute, and I like do these interviews to like get the black community to like think about what's going on in the world, including the media and real life.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I wanted to interview you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy Thursday. Welcome back to On the Shoulders of Giants. I am Joseph Ward, and we are back in the Dean's office with Dean Rodney Smith, a.k.a. Heavy Hooks, for these heavy thoughts that we getting into today because we diving deep into The Color Purple. So I went and saw this movie for y'all. I did not want to go see this movie. I'm just start off with that. I did not want to go see this movie. I went to go see this movie for y'all so we can get a good breakdown of it. I didn't like the first version. And this one, it was good acting. So now, it was. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was a good project that was put together. But we got to talk about the concepts within the movie. The commentary, Rodney, that you provided us, I thought it was good commentary, and especially coming from a young black boy, contrasting that with a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you contrast those two ideas for this audio?
I wanted to do that to show the differences in perspective and what each person takes to the movie and what they'll take away from it. And I think I did a good job of that.
Yeah.
Because I was totally shocked, but then it made sense when I asked her, would she like a movie if the antagonist was the black female? That's what really got me. And she was like, yes, we would love it because we would get to abuse black men. And I was like, I thought about it quickly and I was like, wow, you're right. You're probably right. That's probably how y'all would look at it. And that's sad.
Well, think about it. I would say, because they're not, the way they present it is not outright abuse, but think about the reception of the Woman King from black women, the reception of Wakanda Forever, the reception of these movies where black women are these action heroes, and especially when black men are the antagonists. You know,
Right.
They may not get a grand reception from the world, but from our community, from women in our community, not all, but the women who subscribe to these ethnicist thoughts and this white supremacist thoughts, well, they show up in droves.
For real. But in this case, we would be actually abusing them if the roles were reversed, because what Mr. was doing to, his wife and his kids, that was terrible abusive stuff.
Well, also think about the following that Cynthia G has or had. Because think about her rhetoric talking about deleting unborn black male babies. And with her saying that, her platform grew.
Yes. That's an excellent connection.
Yeah.
So talk about her for the people that don't know who Cynthia G is. Can you tell them so they understand what we're talking about?
So basically, if you don't know, Cynthia G is a former YouTuber. I'm not sure what she does now. Her platform was demonetized because of her content. What I just explained, her basically encouraging black women to, if you get pregnant by what she called a dusty, and it's a black male baby, you get rid of it. And so she calls herself a divester. And the divester community are black women who are done with black men and they want to date white men, and they are recruiting as many black women as possible to date white men with them. Hold on. So this
it was actually a white woman from Chicago. They got her platform demonetized.
The irony with Cynthia G is, like you said, she was deplatformed by a white woman. She originally blamed her deplatforming on black men. And then the evidence came out that a white woman deplatformed her. So that was interesting. But that is, an example of black women flocking to what they perceive as power, especially if the black man is seen as the antagonist. And once again, not all black women, but the black women who subscribe to this mindset. Because that's one thing we're doing in this video is debunking the idea of all black men or all black women. We're not saying that, but we are talking about the ones who subscribe to these crazy mindsets. That's what we're talking about. So,
right. And as you can see in the audio, I'm not trying to put down the young lady on the audio nor the young males on the video. I'm just trying to highlight what people think about these topics.
Right. So what was interesting though is you asked both the young man, and he was 12 years old, correct?
Correct.
So the 12-year-old and the 22-year-old, 10-year gap. And you asked them, what did you like about the movie? And both of them, the first thing they said, like most people, the music. I thought that was very interesting that was the best thing or the thing that they liked the most from this movie. I'm hoping that's a good thing, that the effect that the original Color Purple had as far as demonizing black men, I'm hoping that it doesn't come from this one. Because people still hate Danny Glover. Like black women died hating Danny Glover.
Hey, I want to touch on what you said about the music, because think about how much poison is sold to us in the music. I think that's very powerful. That's the first thing they all say. Even my family members, that's what they say. And that's what they use to sell us poison through the hip hop and everything, man.
Yeah.
It captures us.
Well, you know what? That's a great point. That's a great point in using the musical to reinforce the ideas or the messages that they did put out in the first one. But what's a better way to reinforce it is to use music. That's a great point, because pictures and sound is how we learn.
Yes, facts. Symbols.
That's amazing. So so that was a great point that she was talking about, that black women would want to see themselves in power. I thought that was excellent that she said that, and you didn't coax her to say that. That's what she thought.
Right.
So, but the black male image. So The original Color Purple that was put out in 1989. You hit on some. You asked great questions in that too, because you talked about this was the early 1900s, between 1910 and 1940, and the predominant antagonists were black men, and we know, like, this is during the era of the rise of the KKK and Jim Crow and all these things. So the black, like, all black men are demonized because of this.
That's exactly what happened. I found out. That's why I asked, but nobody finds this odd. Like, nobody in my family finds it odd. I'm like, come on, y'all.
That is a good question, because we know we got the history to show at this time that white men were greater terror to black people, period, but black women than black men at that time. Now, we're not trying to say that domestic violence did not happen.
Right. Yeah, that's not the point. Correct.
Right. But what we are saying is this, we're pushing back to say that this is the predominant story of black men then, and this is the predominant story of black men now, because we got stats to prove that. Especially that is the dominant story now. But the black male image has to be repaired. So how do you, as a black male teacher, being in the classroom, black male students, black female students, how do you go about, or do you even consciously think about the image of the black male and how to work on repairing it with such young students?
Oh, that's a great question. That's the first time I was asked it, but yes, I'm cognizant of that all the time, especially when things are not going right in the classroom. I try my hardest not to turn into a big monster, because I'm 6'7", 265 pounds. It's easy to be an angry black man monster to these kids, but I'm aware that I'm an English teacher and I should probably use my words in a articulate way that 11 and 12-year-olds can understand,
right,
and not result to profanity and some type of hood talk. So I'm very aware of the image and how I dress, how I interact with my peers in front of the students, because I want them to see a good example of a black man. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be angry, because I want them to know that I'm human too, and that I'm upset.
Right.
And that when I'm upset, it's okay to say, hey, I'm upset, I'm disappointed. But I don't have to call you out of your name and use foul language.
Right. No, I'm with you. But I'm glad that you are cognizant of that, because like I said, our image has to be repaired. And really, I think it's the guest in the house analogy. When you have a guest in your house and they spill something or they make it dirty, like, no matter what, they might have done it, but it's on you to clean it up.
Right. Facts.
So we do have to clean up our image. We do have to make sure that we are dealing with the men who are further degrading our image, but also we got to fight back against narratives that are continuously making us look bad, because we know these are narratives that come from racist white America.